Good morning. It is Wednesday, May 15th, 2024. I have not made a video in quite some time. I'm sure nobody noticed and nobody missed me, and that's fine. I don't do this for everybody else. I do this just to, chronicle and document what I'm doing. And, I've made some good friends, and a lot of people, have followed me and commented, and I appreciate that. But I just took a break, I just felt like I needed one. And I took a break from a lot of stuff. Mainly the carnivore diet. I wanted to feel a little easier about it and feel a little bit more free about my life. I've stayed off of social media a lot over the last month or so. I've been trying to read more, focus on my job more, try to get more stuff around the house, and it's been a pretty productive month. And it was just kind of a month where I just kind of let go and didn't worry so much about carnivore and my well, in all honesty, my health and anything else. So that's not sustainable, but it was kind of necessary just in order to get my mind right. Now, I'm fortunate to not have any kind of mental health issues. I'm not depressed. I don't have anxiety. I get irritated pretty easily, but I think that's just because I'm getting older. But other than that, I don't really have any issues. But I still feel like it's a good idea, even if you're relatively mentally healthy like I am, to take a break and just kind of shut everything out for a little while. And and that's just what I've been doing for the last month or so. So I feel like it's been pretty beneficial. There have been negative side effects to it. I put on about 5 pounds. I was down to about 198, and now I'm back up to about 203. I'm still 8 pounds down from the beginning of the year, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. But yeah, I put on a little bit of weight, but I also drank a little bit of beer and had a little bit of ice cream and had some potato chips, and and I've got to say, it made me feel like crap when I did it, but it's just some things you get used to. Anyway, like I said, that is not sustainable though, and so I'm getting back on it. And yesterday, the 14th of May, was my 2-year anniversary on starting carnivore full time, and doing my YouTube channel. So that was pretty cool. And I was like, it didn't even really hit me till the day before. I was like, wow, tomorrow is 2 years. And I was thinking of different things that I could do to try to make it a little bit more interesting, because I've got to tell you, the carnivore space, especially on YouTube, has gotten pretty crowded. There are a ton of people out there doing carnivore, and I encourage that. I encourage you to do carnivore, get a YouTube channel going, get as much momentum going as you can. I encourage that. But like I said, the carnivore space on YouTube has gotten pretty crowded, and I feel like it's just all the same stuff over and over and over again, over and over and over again. And I'm part of that. I don't have anything exciting to offer. I don't have anything profound to offer. My basic YouTube video is just getting on and saying, hey, I did this today and I did this today, and I'm not a doctor, so don't give medical advice. This is my basic YouTube video is what I set out for it to be, which is just basically a video journal of me being on carnivore. And there's nothing exciting to it. There's nothing deep to it. I'm a regular dude doing regular carnivore, and just trying to live a regular life, and there's nothing exciting about that. And like I've said before, if you're doing carnivore right, it's a boring journey. It's not a huge party every day, and it's just not like that. So anyway, but I thought to myself the other day, this was Sunday night, today's Tuesday, I was thinking, I want to try something different that I've never done before, and I want to challenge myself. I don't want to do a carnivore diet challenge. I've done plenty of those. I've done beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. I've done, carnivore 30-day challenges, 45-day challenges, whatever. And, I've achieved some of them and I failed on some of them. But I wanted to do something different this time. So what I'm doing now, yesterday I started doing 75 hard. I don't know if you've ever heard of that or not, but it's a 75-day program where you have to stick to 5 basic rules, and it's supposed to make you sharper, tougher. You're definitely supposed to lose some weight on it, and I really like the tenets of it. And basically, like I said, there are 5 rules. So the first rule is every day you take a picture of your body. Every day. And obviously that's to show the progress that you made from day 1 to day 75, and will help you to see real-time results where you might not have been looking for them on a daily basis before. So you take a picture of yourself every day. Every day you do it. And that's the first rule. The second rule is you do 2 45-minute workouts each day. They have to be independent of each other. They can't be back to back. And one of them has to be outside. Both of them can be outside if you want them to be, but at least one of them has to be outside. So 2 45-minute workouts. It can be weights, it can be endurance training, it can be HIIT training, it can be walking, it can be running, it can be any kind of exercise, but it has to be for 45 minutes. It has to be twice a day, and one of those exercise sessions has to be outside. I really love that particular rule of it. I've been struggling for a year now to do 1 workout a day, and so I'm the kind of person, when I get into a challenge, I've failed plenty of them, but I don't like to give up on them very easily at all. So once I commit to something, I try to give it my all, and if I make it, I make it, and if I don't, then sometimes I don't. But I thought the 2 workout per day thing was going to challenge me the most. It may turn out that that's not what challenges me the most. I'm not really sure. The third one is to drink a gallon of water every single day. And that one might prove to be a little bit difficult, because I don't just force chug water like a lot of people do. I only drink when I'm thirsty. And I really don't feel like I get thirsty all that often. So this one might be a little bit difficult to do. But it's a gallon of water. And so I've got my tumbler here. This is a 40-ounce tumbler. There are 128 ounces in a gallon. So if I drink 3 of these plus some more, then that's my goal for the day. Okay, so we got the 2 workouts, we got the take a picture, we got the drink a gallon of water. The 4th one is to read 10 pages of a book every single day. But it has to be a non-fiction book, and it should preferably be a self-help book. So I'm sure the idea of that is to get some mental, calisthenics going on. And I like that. I've been wanting to read more, and I haven't made it a priority. And if I'm doing this challenge and trying to adhere to it as best as I can, it will make that a priority. So I really, really like that aspect of it as well. I'm pretty sure I've never read one self-help book before in my life. I love literature, I love fiction, I like reading history books, but I've never read a self-help book. And so this will be pretty entertaining. I've picked out a couple of good ones to read back to back over the next couple of weeks, and it's going to be pretty cool. So I'm pretty pumped about that. And then the final thing is, okay, so yes, reading 10 pages per day out of a nonfiction, preferably self-help book. So the last one is you have to stick to a diet. It has to be a healthy diet, but it can be, the diet of choice for anybody. It can be Mediterranean, keto, vegan, carnivore. It just has to be a healthy diet. And part of that is no alcohol. So for 75 days, no alcohol. And I can do that. I've done that plenty of times before. I don't want to say plenty of times. I've done it a good number of times. And I like my beer, just like a lot of other people do. I can do without it, though, and that's not going to be an issue. But you have to adhere to a diet of some kind. And obviously, a lot of people don't view carnivore as a diet, but instead as a way of eating. So that's the way I'm going to use it. So anyway, you have to do all this for 75 days. And it's going to be challenging. Yesterday was my first full day, and it was pretty challenging. Now I have to get up like super early. Okay, right now it's 20 minutes after 6, and I'm already on my way to work. So that means I get up early, and my first workout of every day is going to be before I go to work. So I've been getting up at 4 o'clock to go get in, a walk every morning. And I did that yesterday, did the same thing today. But back to yesterday, which was my first full day, I took a picture first thing in the morning. Oh, not first thing. After I got done with my walk, I did my first workout first thing in the morning. Started drinking water on the way to work. It's cold. Start drinking water on the way to work. Stick to the diet, which I'm taking my lunch today. It's just 4 hamburger patties that I whipped up last night. And then I'm saving the reading for the evening times before I go to bed. Now the dude who came up with the program said that he would prefer that you read out of an actual book and not off of a tablet or an e-reader or something like that, because you can see the progress that you're making by where you keep leaving off. And that is the one thing that I'm going to buck up against. I've got a Kindle. To read the book in paperback form, I would have had to buy it. The book that I'm reading is free with Kindle Unlimited. Okay, I'm going to buck up on that one. And the reading I'm going to do is going to be off of my Kindle instead of it being a physical book. That's the only change that I'm going to make to this challenge. So I'm looking forward to seeing how well this goes, and I'm looking forward to being back. I'm looking forward to being back in some kind of routine. And I took a month off, and it was good for me to do that. At the same time, it was bad for me to do that, so I need to get back into it. So that's what I'm doing. And it started yesterday, and I'm going to start posting videos again, and see if I can make this a little bit more interesting and not so much like thousands of other people. And it's okay. It's okay. Like I said, I encourage anybody, if you're trying carnivore, do a YouTube channel. I'm not a very public kind of person. I'm an introverted kind of person. The reason why I did this was to chronicle and to journal, my journey throughout this whole thing. It hasn't been perfect by any stretch. But I can always go back and look and see what worked. I can see what didn't work. I can see where I failed and why. And you meet some cool people along the way. I've met tons of cool people along the way who subscribe or didn't subscribe, and you have good conversations with them, and it's healthy, I think, to form those kinds of relationships, even if it's just online. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm back in it. I'm full-time carnivore, 75 hard. Look it up. It's a pretty cool theory, and it's supposed to help you out mentally as much as it does physically. So anyway, I guess that's about it. I'm headed to work now. I hope everybody has a great Wednesday, and we'll catch you soon.